Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle. We are starting in the town of Daggerford. And every year, around midsummer, the population of Daggerford swells as people come from up and down the Sword Coast to partake in the town's annual festival of games. While merchants hawk their wares along crowded boulevards, crowds gather to witness all manner of contests, from archery and tug-of-wars to wrestling and, of course, pie eating. But alas, ill weather has dampened this year's festivities, except for pie eating, as they're done inside. Torrential rain falls from the thick black clouds, as wild coastal winds howl through the darkened streets. Guests pack the local inns and taverns, hoping for some reprieve while keeping their spirits high with drinking games and music. But the storm has been relentless, and there's no end in sight. Not surprisingly, the storm has given rise to lots of gossip about recent events in town, namely the capture of a tattooed man believed to be a red wizard of Fae. What would a red wizard of Fae be doing so far from home, you ask? Well, according to the local gossip mongers, he was magically disguised and working for Lord Floshin as a gardener of all things. That's right, the same Lord Floshin whose estate was attacked and looted by orcs and half-orcs a fortnight ago. They say the Red Wizard was behind it, and that's why he's doomed to hang after the festival. It's a good thing that Lord Floshin wasn't home during the attack. He could have been captured and taken away by the orcs. That's what happened to the servants. Gods protect them, as the gossip mongers say. One can only imagine their horrible fate. Now would be a great time to do a proper introduction of your characters. Starting with Jonas.
Okay, sure. I will be playing the Halfling, Franz. His full name and title is Lord Bandobras Adalgrim Franzibald Weatherbee II. He is from the wealthy and prestigious Weatherbee family of Halfling, estate owners, basically. They are what, old British nobility. They have like castles and estates and townhouses and stuff. Most of their money comes from honey and tobacco. They have apiaries and fields of tobacco. He has decided that after some problem at home, that it's probably best to head out for a little bit and not come back, maybe ever. Because his family is a bit they're kind of clingy in a way and want to control his life a lot, him being the heir and everything to the empire, and he doesn't really want that. And so, thanks to a freak accident with a storm, he seems to have sort of melded with the storm, producing weird and strange powers that might have blown up and burned down the family estate. And so he has set off south to prove himself that he doesn't need any of them, and maybe he can just get away from the clingy trepidations of his cousin Primula. Not to mention Grandpa and Mom, and it's a mess. And he's head south. He's come to Daggerford, probably by accident almost. It's like he just wanted to get away, so he took a barrel of tobacco, he took a few pots of honey, packed it into his pony, and went south. And when he came here, he was like, oh, there's a market thing here? Sure. So he has put up a small stand where he has sold some of this stuff to make some money. And now he's staying at the local inn. Living the high life, kinda. He has a very nice room. Might be the finest room in the inn. He didn't specifically ask for it, but the innkeeper seemed to sort of catch on to his name, and then he was immediately offered that room. And basically he said, I'll send the bill to your family. So he's, a little bit grumpy that the family is sort of helping out like this, but whatever. It's better than to sleep in the common room at least. That's Franz.
All right, let's go over to Cordun's character.
Okay, well, my character is Ragmund Silvermead, and he is from around the same area as Sheep's character. They're both hill dwarves. But my character was exiled for a crime he did not commit. He denies it very adamantly. So he has been living as a hermit, mainly around or close to the lands of the Franz's family. And so kind of not much happens during the hermit's life. He has been able to pray to his goddess and live a quiet life from civilization, which is not always so great, but what can you do? During this time, he gained a revelation from his goddess recently that it was a vague, but he knew that he had to head south to Daggerford because there were some ill things afoot. And being the good dwarf that he is mainly honest, loyal, and straightforward. He decided that maybe he needs to deal with this. Now, since he's gotten to Daggerford, he has also holed up in the local inn, because the life of a hermit is not so good when you think of commodities. So the little money he has and the extra money he makes by healing people on the side, he has been spending it all on pretty much anything you can think of to make your life better, like ale and meat and good beds and all the good stuff.
Fantastic. And then we go on to the character none of us really know about, Sheeps.
His wonderful nose.
Well, first of all, that is a lie, and second of all, I will be playing Goldenale, who mechanically is a druid. He is a esteemed member of the Goldenale Brewery Consortium, although esteemed would be something that he says, while it's not exactly true as far as the others are concerned. While he is most definitely still a member, he has been kind of gently pushed out of the way because his ways of trying to improve the products aren't really accepted. They believe that things like mushroom and mold really don't belong in ale, but they don't know what they are talking about. His job, as it were, really a hobby at this point. He does get paid, but isn't really in the loop anymore. He kind of goes around and tries to find new ways to further the product, really, to find new ways to make things taste great. And part of that includes also sampling the wares of others. And where better to do that than during a festival in a, well, town such as this one. Of course, with the rains and such, the hawkers and merchants also are all hiding. And where would drink merchants be hiding? Obviously in taverns. So that's where he went to stay and discreetly see what all his competitors are up to. Staying in the crowded inn here, it is probably likely that he has seen Cordun's character Ragmund around, I assume.
Yeah.
And he would have recognized him, kind of suspiciously looking over, but not really saying anything. That's basically my character.
All right. Last but not least, Dark.
I am playing Karliah Main, a tiefling who is totally not a warlock, and totally does not serve the serve totally not in cooperation with a infernal being. Service would definitely be too strong of a word. If she was doing that anyway. She has come south to the town from the north from Waterdeep. Why exactly? Well, initially she's just planning to kind of pass on through, but the weather's been terrible. She doesn't want to travel this bad weather. And hey, things are going on. there are some people here. She can stock up some money, some food. She has primarily, even before, even the rain wasn't on, but it has been, in the taverns, either sitting at the bar, enjoying possibly a little bit too much drink, speaking with various people, and offering some of the wonderful items she has managed to acquire and sell. Some very rare and exotic things that you can only get from her, and are clearly one of a kind. And also going around and doing card games and gambling and dice and that kind of stuff, and people coming along and playing at a table of hers and keeping the entertainment up, keeping the mood up. Though the house tends to win more often than not. Some people still win, but more often than not, the house tends to win. Though there's clearly no foul play involved or deception at all. She's clearly just very good at the game, right? Clearly just very good at the game. Yes. That is Karliah, more or less. She's been around. She's just kind of been around the tavern, is what she does. Her past, unimportant as well. She grew from what was essentially nothing. She's never been important, ever. Never had a high position, never been rich. But she has a goal of some kind.
Okay. And with character introductions done, we start on a somewhat early morning. The foul weather just won't let up today. It is horrendous. Wet banners flap in the cool morning wind as grim, rain-drenched crowd gathers around a set of wooden gallows quickly erected in the southeastern part of the marketplace, just about here, just outside the door of this dry goods store, as it turns out, which the patron does not look too happy about. Do your characters go out, or do they watch from afar? What do they do in this?
Is there a table in the bar where you can sit and watch?
There used to be tables out, certainly, but they've tended to brought them in because the amount of rain just would rot the wood. So, but there are stands where there's cover and everything. There are still some merchants trying to sell a lot of stuff. The brave ones.
I mean, Franz is not particularly excited about a hanging. That seems kind of mean.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably wouldn't, like, he might like stand in at a corner somewhere to like have a look at it, but he wouldn't be like massing in the crowd, like up close or anything.
Sure. Probably by the door of the tavern then, because there are two. There's one here, and then there's one main one here.
Sure, I'll hang over here.
Karliah, meanwhile, will, at hearing all this commotion, take a few moments and consider making a quiet but seemingly snark comment, seemingly just to no one. Before getting up and actually kind of doing this similar, kind of peering through the door. She's semi-interested, but at the same time, she doesn't really want to go outside where it's super wet if she can help it. So she's kind of, going up to the doorway. Maybe she is like just outside, but in cover from the building.
Okay.
But not really wanting to go too far away from it because, hey, it's raining. She doesn't get soaked.
Sure, you're probably pretty close to Franz, as other people are trying to do the same thing, but then they seem to think about the view that they're getting as more and more people are showing up, and they decide to brave the weather.
Just
because there are some people here, Karliah is like right next to Franz because there's nowhere else to be.
The odds.
He's just standing there, sort of craning his neck and looking a little bit disappointed.
You could probably find he could probably stand on his tobacco barrel actually.
I mean, I suppose I don't want to put in a puddle though. He sort of looks up the facade of the tavern. Could he climb up a little bit, sit on a windowsill, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, it's got kind of like a kind of like a covered bit, like a nice wooden like roof that is kind of open at the sides but has 2 pillars in the front. So you could probably sit on top of that.
All right. Then Karliah will see Franz sort of mutter something to himself, like, oh, and then look up and be like, and then you see him sort of scaling up the tavern, quite agilely, sort of flinging himself up there.
Turns and looks amused, watching the halfling climb.
And then you see him sort of plop down on the roof up there, sort of dingling his small legs and whistling to himself.
You get a few looks from other people, but they seem to not really care after they realize that you are a halfling, and it's pretty hard to see over humans.
Nice view.
He calls out, "Oh yes, you should climb up too."
I can see just fine, but I appreciate the offer.
Okay.
Wink slightly.
You see that he does a little motion with his fingers, and something, a little rune or something glows a little bit, and you see the rain sort of not fall on him anymore as he sits up there, whistling to himself.
Karliah doesn't really seem to be getting, like, even bits of rain that hit don't seem to be making her that wet. It's kind of sliding off.
Mm-hmm.
So you're jealous, people. Well, Ragmund will go and order a pint of mead from the innkeeper, as he usually does every morning.
Yeah, he probably has. He generally has one ready for many of the patrons in the morning.
Yes. He grabs one. He yells out to pretty much no one and everyone, "Is the hanging starting?" He kind of moves over, but he doesn't go out into the rain because he doesn't want to get wet. And he doesn't want water diluting his mead. Just gonna, you won't be able to see, but he'll try to hear what happens.
People will definitely confirm that there is the hanging, saying things like, the wizard
What
will
are you
get
doing,
it.
sheep?
Sorry, I'm eating cookies.
Oh, of course.
Saying that the wizard will get it, and more filth for the maggots, and quite horrible things like that.
Well, as for Jolgan, he is very much a go with the flow guy, and the drinks in this place really aren't good compared to what he is used to. But he could make himself, just give him enough time. But
He doesn't have like spare pine cones to put in the drink.
No.
Oh.
Nothing to spice up the drink, just
Yeah.
without drawing too many awkward looks. So he'll just kind of go with the crowd, look at things.
Okay. Well, what is distinctly obvious to everyone involved is that there is already a masked hangman on the scaffolding, and he nods to a slender, rain-soaked knight in bright armor, and next to him is a hooded figure that some of the more perceptive of you, like Jordan, will see that it is in fact Lord Flotian himself, standing next to the knight. The knight limps into the heart of the crowd with a greatsword slung over his back. And he stands like a beacon of light in the gloom and keeps a watchful eye on the proceedings. A few paces behind him is Lord Flotian in a rather handsome grey cloak. The masses of the crowd and their mood tends to starts to turn to anger as the prisoner is hauled out from this street Lord Flotian is at least a few hundred years old. Your character will know.
Okay,
because
I was
your
more like
family.
okay.
He owns a large estate near Waterdeep, in fact.
Then you'll hear Franz say, "Well, he doesn't look that old."
Oh,
gotta
he
say.
looks great. He looks
He
great.
sighs. Elves. They look so
Yeah.
they look so fancy all the time.
Someone sounds jealous.
Well, you know. Sort of dangle his legs a little bit.
If you were down in ground level, she'd probably have whacked you with a tail or something playfully, but nope, you're up there. For later.
That's for later. Did you say that?
Later.
Oh my!
Should not be able to see that, actually. Which is odd. Okay. Let's change that. Can you see his hit points now, sheep?
Yep, still can.
Bizarre. Alright, that's fine.
Only a few hit points.
Only a few. It's weird, it should be just as, should just be owner visible. Okay, I'll have to have a look in a minute. But yeah, the crowd turns quite sour and angry as a prisoner is hauled through this street towards the gallows by a pair of cloaked guards. The bald wizard wears nothing but a loincloth, and most of his thin frame is covered with serpentine tattoos. His wrists and ankles are bound with rope, and his eyes and mouth have been sewn shut. A sight that doesn't sit too well with the armored knight.
Franz sort of makes a face like, ugh! That reminds me of my aunt.
That even strikes Karliah a little bit of, wow.
Looking at the tattoos, would Franz be able to, with his arcane knowledge, divine what type of wizard this has been?
He is definitely a wizard of Thay. He doesn't seem to have anything in particular like school. He seems to be an all-rounder, as it were.
That's rare, I think.
Very. You would think that he has been. In fact, you would know some of the history of this place. For powerful wizards that are to be executed, they do this horrible display, so they can't prevent the hanging. So they can't cast spells or everything like that.
Mm.
So it's
Would
quite
rule all
gruesome.
over the prisoner.
Remind me to not be caught here, huh?
Up to no good, are we?
What? No! I'm just, saying. He sort of waves a hand.
I'm sure.
Just give me a sec.
I don't like it how the Tiefling is the one accusing you of doing something bad.
Well, Franz has a sort of a mischievous look on him.
It's a Halfling. They're always mischievous.
Yes. Rascals.
Not as bad as the gnomes, but
Yeah, but gnomes are strange.
Very true.
I'm just making things owner visible only. So you might want to share each other's tokens with everyone, just for the sake of things. And hopefully you can't see Lord Flotian's HP anymore.
I see his current hit dice,
Okay, you can see his current hit dice, sure.
which is 0.
Yeah, that's fine. So I can fix all of that later. But anyway, so the armored knight clearly doesn't like the look of this this appalling act either, but he doesn't step in to intervene. Clearly he sees the reasoning behind it. And the rolling thunder of the storm cannot drown out the roar of the crowd. Shouts of "Kill the wizard" abound. One old lady cries out, "Filth for the maggots!" And people cheer in agreement as a heavily guarded horse-drawn carriage comes to a stop at the edge of the easternmost part of the crowd. Through the carriage's rain-streaked windows, you see the pale visage of Duke Maldwin Daggerford. Yeah, he kind of owns this place. He watches the proceedings very closely, looking through the window, kind of squinting as the rain is torrential at this point. As the noose tightens around the wizard's neck, the tattoos covering his body begin to writhe. The crowd gasps in horror at the sight, and the armored knight draws his great sword. Moments later, the captain of the guard signals the hangman to pull the trapdoor lever. A short drop spells the wizard's demise. Lightning flashes, and you half expect the wizard to be gone, but there is his body. There, his body hangs. The serpentine tattoos no longer writhing. "To the hells with him!" a peasant shouts. Did you want to say something, Doug?
No.
Okay. The night relaxes as the crowd begins to disperse. And suddenly, a rider on a black horse gallops into the square, surprising everyone. He seems drawn to the armored knight. And he shouts, my lord, terrible news! Crom's Hold! It's been attacked! By a black dragon!" And the rest of the crowd, hearing this, they run. Everyone runs, pushing aside Karliah and Ragmund in the doorways. In fact, pushing them out as they're all scrambling to get in. They clearly don't want to be outside if there is a dragon on the loose. Crom's Hold, if you look on the map, is very close. It's in fact only about 25 miles away. So it is kind of scary close. For there to be a black dragon about.
By the hells, I think it's starting.
So the messenger says to the armored knight, the Baroness requests help, and then looks over to the armored carriage where Duke Daggerford is, which has started to retreat back to his manor. And he looks back to the knight and says, please, try and gather who you can. We need everything we have. And he rides off after Duke Daggerford. Lord Floshin and the knight look at each other and then look around. They exchange a few brief words quietly, and Lord Floshin disappears up this road, where the armored knight walks up and comes into the tavern, eyeing up Ragmund as he goes in.
Ragmund kinda lets him pass.
As he walks in, he makes it loud enough for Franz to hear, even with the thunder and torrential rain going around him.
He looks around, looks down to Karliah and says, I suppose we should go in. I think the show is sort of over.
She nods. Taking a second. You can maybe get down.
Oh, yeah. He sort of drops down and with an agile, cat-like grace sort of lands.
Smile slightly.
And then he said, "What did you whisper before when you said something about your tail?" As he goes in.
Oh, nothing. It's just an itch.
Oh, okay.
What did you?
Flexed it slightly.
Sorry to interrupt, but
He comes in, looks. Oh, it's very crowded. Has Franz seen Jolgan around before?
probably not. At least in the inn, perhaps, but not before this.
He looks at him and like, "Oh my!"
Yeah, Jordan is kind of standing where the crowd used to be, kind of in the middle of the entryway, scratching his beard, looking thoughtful. See, blinks, looks towards you. Well, hello, you.
Hello. He sort of, can I come in?
Jordan looks around him. Of course, yes. I was just thinking about something
Oh, okay.
potentially groundbreaking, but
Oh,
it's nothing. Dragon, bad news, isn't it?
I guess. I've never
Be
seen a
shame
dragon.
if nobody took care of him.
He sort of looks at him up and down. I guess the Baroness would be probably sad.
Dragon's ever good news.
Maybe she'll write Mother. Oh no, he mumbles to himself.
Yeah, Franz would have remembered his aunt actually talking of Baroness in quite friendly terms. Actually.
Oh no, he'll shiver at the thought. Ooh. Oh. If Aunt Lobelia likes her, she must be terrible.
Ragmund looks at his cup and I need a refill.
Franz looks up. Oh, Ragmund, you're here.
Oh, Franz! Good
He
to
sort of-
see you here.
Yeah, he sort of trots over and hugs him.
Oh, what are you doing here, lad? Do you want a drink? I can buy you a drink.
No, it's a bit too early, but you know.
It's never too early for a drink.
Well, I mean, he sort of looks around a little bit, I guess, but water maybe?
Innkeeper, another pint of mead.
No,
Friend as well.
yeah, but oh,
I'll have one as well.
It appears
Sure,
as
for
if
you
there
too.
are. It
Strange
appears
girl.
as if he's got mice ready.
this is Karliah. She played cards with me, and she's kind of good at that actually.
You're doing quite well. You're getting better.
There's some scratches. I don't know. And then he motions. Well, this is Ragmund. He's sort of, I guess. Well, it's a friend of mine from home. Right?
I do believe that I know who you are, Ragmund. No.
Franz turns around. What?
Oh, is that you, Jolgan?
Might be. It
Are
depends
you
on.
here for that? Because of that? Because that wasn't really me.
I'm not, but should I be?
No, of course you shouldn't. What are you implying?
I mean, you're implying things.
I mean, do we want a drink?
Yes, but not here.
Oh.
Well,
I'm
maybe
gonna have
here
to-
because it's raining outside, but
Yes.
I would like
Or
a
drinks,
good thing
innkeeper.
for us.
He kind of waits for his drinks to arrive and then hands them out to everyone.
Oh, they arrived rather quickly. Might think that the barkeep actually hasn't heard what's going on, but is very confused as why people are running to their rooms and are probably packing all of their stuff.
Meanwhile, Karliah is enjoying a nice cup of mead.
Franz is sipping at it a little bit. He's not like gulping it down like him, like the dwarves probably are.
Karliah is drinking it down surprisingly close to how the dwarves are doing it.
Yeah,
Like how you drink, girl.
Yoda does gulp down the like mug of ale or meat or whatever pretty quickly, then frowns at the empty cup, turning towards you. Bit too sweet. Far too sweet, actually.
Franz looks at it. I guess. I kind of
Could have
like.
been better.
I mean, I like
Much better.
honey. It's.
Oh, well, if you like honey, then you should throw this stuff on the floor because it's terrible.
Franz takes another sip.
I'll take another one though, Bucky.
What was your name again?
Name's Jolgan. Jolgan Goldenale. You might have.
Oh. Yeah, I think the Weatherbees. I think my family has sold a lot of like honey and stuff to your family. I guess.
Oh yes, I think you have, and it's usable.
Franz scratches his head a little bit. Well, that's good to hear, because we make so much of it. I mean, it would be terrible if it was, you know.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
He sits down on a stool next to the table here, and dangles his legs, whistles a tune, takes another sip, sort of grimaces. He's not used to alcohol this early in the morning.
Karliah is looking slightly mournfully at her already empty mug. And then to a nearly empty coin purse.
And then the door opens.
Yeah, and the door opens as Sir Istavel walks in and sighs deeply, looks around, realizes you four and a couple others, some very well equipped, possibly adventurers, are sat around, not running possibly for their lives to Waterdeep, or in fact Baldur's Gate further to the south.
I'm not that well equipped. I'm only got a suit of like solid leather armor and no weapon.
Franz,
you know,
Franz is wearing some. It looks like adventure clothes, but if you look closer, you will notice that it seems to be like expertly made. Like a master tailor has made this, and this is definitely not something you would just get as an adventurer. You get the feeling more that he has gone to a really good tailor and been like, "Can I get some adventure stuff?" And just gotten like basically like Versace adventuring clothes.
Oh God!
It's like it's really pretty made and stuff.
They've taken like a set of nobles' clothes and like, okay, how do we make it more adventurous?
Yeah, basically.
Like a bandolier on here. And
Yeah, exactly. It has like embroidery down the sleeves, and he has one of those side capes that doesn't really cover much at all, but just hangs from his shoulder. It's very stylish, but probably not very practical.
Well, then he probably looks at you four and think, well, he kind of gives you the look of, at least they're not running. Looks at the other guys that look very well equipped, like one of them has a battle axe across his back and is big and burly and
that's impressive.
has a great beard like Goldenale and yeah, he's they look.
He should
like
hire those guys. They look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they look like stereotypical adventurers. He kind of looks at them and nods slightly, and then kind of speaks in general to everyone that's not fleeing for their lives. As another flash of lightning strikes outside, he says, Cromshold is well defended, but a dragon might be too great of a threat, even for Baroness Wynne. If you have no other business to attend to, there's a bag of gold for each and every one of you who come as reinforcements with me. A slight pause comes as the other adventurers at the other table immediately stand up, and the large one with the battle axe on his back says, "I will go." And so Stavel says, wait in the marketplace. And he looks to you four being the only ones left in the tavern.
Well, I'm kind of asking, like, how well is Cromshold equipped to handle a dragon, of all things?
Dragons, not great. Lizard folk, very. The lizard marsh to its west is filled with lizard folk, after all.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that dragon and that horrid rain outside has made my business go down into the gutter or into homes hiding. So I suppose I have time.
Isn't that the usual place for Goldenale?
Damn! Franz sort of looks between them, being like, looks at Ragmund. That was rude.
Ragmund kind of smirks and nudges Jolgan.
So that thing you didn't do, wouldn't it be a shame if an esteemed member of a merchant association would swear that you in fact did do it? He grins slightly.
Ragmund pushes another pint towards Jolgan.
I thought so. And then leans over towards him. But we can at least agree that this stuff is horrible, right?
Yes, dragons, bad business.
I meant the drinks, but yeah.
I mean, after a while in the woods, this stuff, it tastes pretty great.
Jolgan pauses for a bit, then shrugs. Fair enough.
So Stav was just kind of watching the conversation back and forth, like, is that a yeah? I mean,
Franz looks around. I mean, sure.
he says, oh, sorry.
I do think we should at least try to do something about this.
Franz nods slowly. I guess. I mean, if I show myself.
I mean, if you know the person that owns this keep or castle or hold, is it in your best interest to help them?
Well, if she's a friend of my aunt, I don't.
Then she's a friend of the family. Should help them.
Family is important, after all.
Franz looks between them and looks a little bit helpless at this onslaught of dwarven family importance. And he says, I guess.
Family might not always know what's best, but they are family.
I would honor your ancestors if you help them.
I don't think he would be that honored. He's kind of a sourpuss, really.
Nonsense.
Franz frowns.
Can cure any sourpuss.
Yeah, that might be the problem with him, I guess. The lack of being able to drink and all. He sort of gets up a little bit and says, okay, I mean, sure, I'll come along. Maybe, you know, maybe, if I do this, maybe I'll show them that I can do things my own. Yeah. He nods himself. All right. Yeah. No, I'll come along.
That's the spirit, Franz.
You see, Karliah hasn't been paying much attention for the most part. Like, and she has like a fist deeply clenched right now and like biting her lip at something. Just kind of looking up, almost absent-mindedly.
Franz looks over. What was that?
Before there's a very subtle curse from up just below her, just like, fine. Sure, I'll come along. I'm not being shown up by the halfling.
Franz smiles at her.
Yes, any girl who can drink like you should be a good partner for this group.
Franz looks at his drink, who's barely touched. He's
Don't worry, Franz. You've always had a small stomach.
Well, yeah, compared to you guys. Sort of looks at the impressive bellies of Jolgan, Goldenale, and Ragmund.
Yeah, Ragmund laughs heartily at that.
You know, Karliah just has the advantage of height. Carrying.
I guess she stores it in the tail. He whispers.
Oh, what was that?
No, nothing.
Like lightly taps you on the back of the tail.
He tries to catch the tail.
With her dexterity, she's gonna basically try and like avoid it.
All right, I'll do an attack roll to see if I can catch the tail.
Would you say it's a sleight of hand?
It could be, yeah.
On my side,
yeah.
I think it might be.
On your side, yeah. Because
I have proficiency in
might
sleight of
be
hand.
sneaky.
Let me take a look if I have any proficiency in grabbing tails.
I doubt it. I will roll a dex check with my sleight of hand, which
No.
will be 12.
I'll roll a
alright.
dex check as well to see if I can grab it.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Nimbly dodges out.
Slips free. Yeah.
He's like, ow! Damn it.
She just chuckles a little bit. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe. He looks at it, frowning.
And it just kind of goes behind her and curls on herself.
Hmm.
Ragmund looks at this weird courting going on and just shakes his head.
The knight nods and says, "Good. Right. Let's go into the marketplace." And
Sure,
Lord Flotion should have gathered some more.
should I get my
I'm gonna stay
pony?
here, it's dry here.
Should I get my pony?
He says, "We'll gather and wait for the Duke to give orders. I'm sure we'll be leaving shortly."
I'll get my pony then.
He kind of does a slight nod and says, "Quickly."
Well,
Oh,
then
just
sort
touching
of,
my things.
he sort of hops down and walks out to get his pony.
As Karliah will quickly slip into her room and grab her bag.
I don't really have any good pony token. Do you have a pony token for me, Cheap? You have a lot of them. Sometimes.
I can check. I think I have a good one.
I might have one. Search my index.
I mostly have
for pony.
horses.
Yeah, I've only got horses as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my index only has horses, I'm afraid.
Okay.
See if I have anything in a pony's folder for you.
I mean, no, I don't.
I technically have one in here for some reason I'm unaware of.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Give me the pony.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Take that abomination away from me.
What is this shit?
I've got the perfect one.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea why that's on my hard drive.
Oh my god.
Oh, I think we know. I think we know what you role play when we're not here.
My little pony.
Pony Finder.
Pony Finder. Oh no! Don't go to that website. That's a bad website.
Dark is a brony confirmed.
Mm-hmm. Sparkle
I'm a lot of
Mane.
things, but a brony is not one of them.
That's your handle, right? Sparkle Mane.
Sparkle mate.
No, not quite.
Oh god. Alright.
I'm gonna use this unless Sheep dumps a pony on me.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will in just a second. I'm just making the token.
Oh, you know it's gonna be good then.
Yeah, when he's making a token. Alright, well,
I like this. Boring wood, boring wood, boring wood, red.
yeah. It's so big.
Compared, yeah. Yes!
Yes.
There we go.
And it's a pony, it's not a full-size horse. So.
That
Oh
is,
my god, that's the best.
I'll take that.
There's a bit of barbed wire in the picture, but did it do?
It's to
Fine.
contain its rage and fury. This pony had to be caged. Can you
Both have the same length of legs.
can you give hey? can you give ownership?
Do you know how expensive that pony was?
Exactly.
The top
It's more
breed.
than your worth.
It is top of the line pony. Like the Ferrari pony.
All muscle.
I need ownership ship.
Oh,
It's only just pure muscle.
there you go.
Pure muscle, yeah.
It is an engine of destruction, this creature.
Please mount your beast of war.
Mm-hmm. Ta-da!
That's a very big pony.
The ponies are large. I think they're large.
Yeah, ponies are, but maybe, like, hang on, I think I can adjust its size.
I mean, I can technically ride a medium creature because I am a size smaller.
Oh, that is true. How about
There we
that?
go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's great.
That's about right.
I'll
yeah.
take this. I'll have to
It's-
rename it again.
There we go.
There we go. Shiki.
Oh, I love it.
Shiki the
Alright.
pony. Alright, to war!
Yeah. Well, oh, cheeky.
Big crumb.
It's you know, I'm not good at this, alright?
Cheeky has taken note. Alright, well, as you guys gather in the marketplace, Duke Maldwin is there, this time not in his carriage. Clearly he's been trying to calm the populace that are freaking out. But now he casts a wary gaze upon the stormy sky. And then he turns to Starvel and says, the bulk of our militia will remain here in case the dragon attacks. And he nods to Sir Starvel, and the knight nods and says, "Of course, Your Grace." And the Duke says, the knight says, "God damn it, I'm losing my mind." He says, "That would be wise. 30 stalwart men and horses should suffice, as well as these adventurers that we have gathered." He gestures around him. There's really only a handful of others. And the Duke looks to the knight again and says, "Good." Looks over to Lord Flotian and says, "I would request you to go with Sir Starvel as well, if you would not mind." The very beautiful elf nods and says, "Of course." And then just quietly goes off to actually goes this way. Goes past him to get his things ready. And and as all of the other adventurers and Sir Starvel all get ready, you head off within less than an hour. In fact, people get ready so quickly. Though Sir Starvel is, as you notice, he needs help getting onto his horse by one of the guards that come with. He definitely has an injured leg. And you all head to Crom's Hold through the torrential rain with all due haste.
So we do.
Yes. And you all head, press the wrong button, over over here. You're all on top of each other for some reason.
I think I see the problem.
Yeah.
And why were we coming here again?
Oh, Franz's family.
Indeed. Well, as you ride south past farmhouses and cottages under stormy skies, Crom's Hold is a stark castle, little more than a squat keep surrounded by an outer wall. It looks like it has seen many repairs over the years. Galloping across an open field leading to the hold, you do not see or hear signs of battle until you reach over a sort of small hill that seems to block a ravine, not quite a ravine, a dip in the land that then rises up to Crom's Hold. And there are a large amount of lizard folk surrounding the keep, but only surrounding it on like a quarter of the the hold's walls. Obviously, they're not good at siege fare, and every time there seems to be a charge, which happens a lot, everyone just gets peppered by arrows, and the lizard folk stop their advance. And they don't even stop you as you go towards Crom's Hold, as you gallop across the open field, not going around the winding, twisting road. Thunder rolls across the sky as you approach, and the rain turns to mist, and a cool coastal wind washes over you. The gates of Crom's Hold open as you approach. Clearly, they're not too bothered about these lizard folk. Behind the outer wall is a bailey with a well, a stable, a small pasture, and a training yard. The keep itself is a simple manor house that looks relatively new. You see a row of 6 human corpses in the yard. You also see 6 guards standing watch along the west wall. The lizard folk on the southern part of Crom's Hold, in fact. They seem to have come out of the lizard marsh, which indicates that they are definitely idiots at warfare and don't know how to do any of it. An armored woman in her mid-30s emerges from the manor, accompanied by an armored man with a bandaged shoulder wound. As they approach, the woman removes one gauntlet and extends a hand to Sir Starvel. And she says, "Welcome to Crom's Hold." She seems to hold herself quite high. Unfortunately, the token I had broke, so apparently I can't show you it. The knight.
Was pretty.
She's not pretty. She's not ugly. She's average. So Starvel replies, "Baroness Wynne. Don't tell me you've slain and buried the dragon already." Lord Floshin at this point has just gone into the manor. He's not here for pleasantries, it seems. Baroness Wynne replies, "I'm afraid not," quite dryly. "I'm not as young as I used to be, but enough of that. My sergeant is stricken by a poisoned wound." And Starvel turns to you four. The rest of the adventurers following Lord Floshin. And he says, "I have brought these adventurers, I suppose you could call them, to aid in any task. I promised them a bag of gold each." She kind of nods. She then turns to you all and says, "Thank you for coming, and this is greatly appreciated." Looks at Franz.
Franz looks down, sort of. He doesn't really want to meet her eyes. Trying to make himself small, and actually, you know what? Franz will try to hide. He'll try to hide behind Ragmund because he's very wide.
Sure.
So
Behind the pony.
The pony's in the pasture. Since I'm a Lightfoot halfling, I am naturally stealthy and can attempt to hide when obscured by a creature one size larger than me, which is Ragmund. Okay. So I'm gonna try
Franz,
to sort of.
Is this your?
Is this? It's like
Franz?
shh.
Why are you hiding behind Ragmund, Franz? What is going on?
That's basically what happens.
She kind of gives you the look of, okay, sure. And then carries on and says,
it's like,
pointing to, or gesturing to her captain next to her, saying, "This is Captain Falk. He will He will direct you where Sir Starvel does not. Kind of looks at him with the look of, I can understand if you get too busy, so I'll give you a fallback.